love Bondi. The sun, the surf, bright lights, the late nights, girls. I wouldn't live anywhere else. Growing up, we had pet chickens, dogs, cats, pet cow, even a pet penguin. How was I not going to become a vet? I love being a vet in Bondi. You just never know what you're going to get. Some are shy, some are showy, but they're all characters.
Just feeling around his sternum there, along his keel bone. Now, penguins have a pretty good covering of fat, but that sternum there is quite prominent.
The malnourished fairy penguin has been found just in time.
And aside from the stress that we're obviously putting him under just by looking at him, his system is under a bit of strain. I think the most likely thing that's happening at the moment is he's going through the process of molting. To do that, he requires a lot of energy, and if he hasn't put enough energy into his bank, which is his fat reserves, then he can't draw enough out during these periods to sustain. And if he's lacking energy, he's going to come ashore and he just can't feed. And if he does that, he's in big trouble.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, he could chase it for an hour or more.
Yeah?
Yeah. Doesn't always bring it back.
I wouldn't mind getting him in the corridor out there and see him actually chase this ball. I want to see how that leg performs. Then I want to see if he actually limps as a result of that, because the thrill of the chase often overrides any pain. He loves it, doesn't he?
He really does.
But if he's still limping through that, then it's a pretty serious injury he's got there.
Right.
She really is displaying the classical signs of a snailbait poisoning, and you do have to act pretty quickly on these guys because as you can see, their system just goes into overload.
Come on, girl, it's all right. You just keep calm there. You're being very good.
And if it gets too far, they can actually go into seizures. And when that happens, it's very bad news.
Completely drenched from head to toe, and its mucous membranes, so like under its lip, is bright blue.
This cat had no chance if the people that were standing there didn't intervene and actually rescue the cat. Water tonight would have been quite cold, so the problem we've got right now is the fact that we're battling hypothermia and just getting its temperature. We're now on 32.7, 32.8 degrees, when normal is around 38 to 39 degrees, so we're dramatically low, and that's the biggest issue.
How long ago could he not walk? When did you notice?
Probably about 3 or 4 hours ago was when I first noticed it.
Okay.
If a paralysis tick has burrowed into Polar, emergency vet Lisa Chimes needs to find the killer parasite fast.
Basically what happens when they're bitten by a tick is that it causes paralysis, so the toxin goes into the bloodstream and it binds at the ends where the muscles meet the nerves, and it paralyses them, so it usually starts at the back legs and it moves up. It's all right, sweetie. I know. It's life-threatening because it can paralyse the breathing muscles, so they won't be able to breathe anymore. And just give them a cuddle in the head. It's okay. It's all right, sweetie.
Hello, Chrissy.
Chris, how are you?
How are you?
Thank you for coming so quickly.
Look at you.
This is Harry.
You're a mess.
He's a shocker, isn't he?
Harry is the pampered pet of the equally colourful Chrissy.
Jeez, he's raw there, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And he's back, look.
That's extraordinary, isn't it? He's totally bare there.
He is. He's
Looks
like
like
a plucked chook.
I was going to say plucked turkey, but chooks
Yeah,
are
I know. I can't work out why his feathers are coming out.
It's one of the worst cases I've ever seen. And now the first thing I'm suspicious about is the diet. I need to know exactly what Chrissy's feeding him.
These are his...
Beans?
They are pulses. I soaked them overnight. This is his red palm oil, his seed, his millet sticks, his unsalted cashews. He washes it down with just a little glass of bubbles occasionally with Mummy.
Mummy would insist upon that, wouldn't she? And whatever he doesn't finish, you probably have to finish, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's no obvious signs of trauma, no signs of fractures in those wings.
Chris's first patient of the day is a seriously malnourished boobook owl.
He hasn't eaten for quite a while and he's been very weak and very distressed, so any nutrition you can get into him is going to be very welcome. And as you can see, he's taking it up beautifully.
Pretty pale, isn't he?
Yep.
Sweetheart. As soon as you see white gums in a dog, you know it's an emergency. She's been bleeding in her gums, so any slight bump, she could bleed. It's really in quite a critical state.
At Bondi's referral hospital, Sash, emergency vet Lisa Chimes is trying to save Motley, a 12-year-old Shih Tzu cross.
She's just been rushed out the back. We really don't know what's going on. The nurse is out there talking to the owners now, trying to find out some details. In the meantime, I'm just giving her some oxygen to try and support her.
In terms of maintaining his manhood and making him look masculine, there is an option. A few years ago, a guy actually invented something called nutricals. They're essentially silicone balls.
No.
Seriously. Seriously. So,
Who thinks of these things?
funnily enough, Americans. I think your mates actually got rid of you because you're actually annoying. They said leave home and run away. We're sick of you. I'm just looking for any fractures in the shell, any injuries to the soft part of him. He looks fine though, he looks in great nick. He's not dehydrated at all. You can see his eyes very, very liquid. There's no sign of it being sunken up or anything like that. A lot of people think they just have to live in water and as a result, if they find one, they whack it in a bucket of water, but it can actually be a bad thing for them because being dry is quite good for them. But they love to migrate. They'll walk huge distances to find new patches of water, new territory, and that's where they get into trouble because they have to cross roads and that's when they get hit by cars. Yeah, he's ready to go. You've got the right direction too, it is that way, you're good.
Charlie has a leaking heart valve which can't be fixed. It's now just a matter of time.
Okay.
Come on, Charles. All right, that's it. Each week we take Charlie to the clinic to drain all that fluid from his abdomen. It's just to try and relieve the pressure on his circulation because his heart is already struggling so much. He's so special, and obviously so is Mrs. Causwell. And yeah, we go that extra mile for them.
Stuck right across the back of his pellet.
At Sash, vet Lisa Chimes is dealing with a Springer Spaniel in serious trouble.
Ouch, are you going to let me grab that without sedating you?
Obus has a bone wedged in the back of his throat. Getting it out is going to be difficult and painful.
Generally, dogs don't let you put your hands in their mouth, particularly if there's something stuck in there and they're distressed about it. So often they will have to be sedated for it, but Obus seems like he's got a pretty good nature, so hopefully we'll be able to do it conscious.
It's serious in the sense that I think it's life-threatening if it goes on for much longer. She won't be able to walk around, she'll be in chronic pain, and from an ethical point of view, you just wouldn't be able to keep her alive.
Oh, good step, that was a good step. Okay, you want pace? I'll give you pace.
Naomi, who cares for the animals on the estate, has asked Chris to check up on their resident pensioner.
I just think it's incredible how old Lady is. Goats in the wild will only live to around 7 years of age, whereas Lady's 18 or even 19. She's got to be some sort of record breaker. Oldest goat in Australia, oldest goat in the world, who knows, but she is incredible.
The indignant bird was almost breakfast for their puppy.
Can you think why, if a dog was chasing one, it wouldn't just fly off?
Obviously because he just can't. And I think the real trick here is working out why he can't run away. He looks as though he's got the muscles to fly.
Yep.
He looks as though he's got the will to fly, but for some reason he just can't.
What Chris needs to know is whether his noisy patient is grounded forever.
Either he's flown into a window and ended up in their backyard, or he's picked up a condition that a lot of rainbow lorikeets get, which causes this very strange paralysis where they just can't fly. They look good. I mean, he's almost fat when you look at him. He's in that good a condition.
7-year-old Zoe has been rushed in, suffering from a snake bite.
I know. Definitely killed by something, dog or owner.
The Bichon Frise is being looked after by vet Darren Foster and emergency nurse Jess.
Are the owners here with the dog?
Yes, he's out at reception.
I was at work, my wife was at home and she just went outside for some reason and the little snake was curled up and Zoe started foaming from the mouth.
Zoe was attacked by a deadly red-belly black snake. If she doesn't receive antivenom soon, she'll suffer an agonising death.
Come on, buddy, come on, mate, come on. Okay, so you've seen him on the road?
Yes, and the others were just standing there.
Dawn Hardy and her daughter Fiona rescued the road accident victim.
Someone actually ran over its whole head and then just kept driving and just left it there. And they just said, it doesn't matter because it's just going to die. And I went, you can't say that.
Oh, Vegas! Hello! Oh, he's handsome.
However tough the day, puppy school never fails to lift her spirits.
I actually get really happy again with puppy school. It's like a buzz. People get puppies with the intention that they're like little stuffed toys, and they're not, because there's poo coming out, they're barking and chewing.
Oh, it's very full on. Constantly retrieving my dog from attacking other dogs.
They're full on. It's like bringing a baby into your household, and we just get people at their wits' end to help me. And just give them some time out. Okay, so what you've got to do is scream like a puppy, so it's See how they stop? Okay, that's what you've got to do, okay? It's really important that you scream like a puppy.
Geez, look at that.
His eyelid split open, you can see. Yep. He saw my son, got very excited, and just bolted down the stairs and across the street.
Cody, a young Labrador, has just been run over by a car.
He's copped a fair knock because he's got a bit of hemorrhage around the eyes there. His gums are fairly pink there. I wouldn't say they're a rich pink, but they're pink enough for me right now. Heart rate's obviously very high, just because of the stress, but lung sounds are okay, and you can see that general respiratory rate isn't too bad. He is panting, that's a result of the shock. Yeah, I just can't believe these tyre marks here. That's all rubber along there and then down here, so geez, it doesn't look as though the wheel's gone over him, but it's certainly given him a pretty big bump.
Back to when I'm touching his kidneys. Felix is in a lot of pain. Cats are normally really stoic animals, and he's yelping out when I'm feeling his abdomen, so he's in a lot of pain over there.
Have you eaten something not nice?
It's possible that he could have swallowed something. He's a young cat, and kittens play with things, so...
Indoor, outdoor.
Yeah, they ingest lots of different things, and it's very possible. I can't feel anything obvious there, so he's a very sick little kitten.
Righto, should come in. Membranes are showing. I've seen one foot, not the other. Okay. There should be soap on top of the fence there.
Dangerous. Very dangerous.
It's only once a year that owners Tonya and Jamie bring in Bella for just one vaccination jab and one worming tablet. The battle lines are drawn, and the Chihuahua hasn't lost a showdown yet.
You're not doing a very good job, Holly.
Whoa, she's almost taking my hand off.
Over the years, all I've done to Bella is vaccinated her, wormed her. I did de-sex her, and maybe that's part of it.
We've heard a lot about you. She looks as though she's a bit frisky, so I reckon we go to Bondi, work off some of that energy before she goes into hospital. Welcome to Sydney, huh? Welcome to Sydney.
He's very cold, he's very dehydrated, and he just looks as though he's in a bit of shock as well.
At the Bondi Clinic, a heartbreaking emergency has just arrived. This tiny Joey was found on the side of a road with no mother in sight.
The leg muscle here. That's just going to try and give his system a bit of a kickstart. It's a cortisone-based drug, so it, I guess, improves the circulation, just gets everything revved up, because right now his system's just crashing.
Yeah, that's nice and warm. Okay, great. Mummy's milk.
If we go too fast, then that milk drips down the back of his throat and he's too weak really to close off his larynx. Then that milk goes straight into his lungs, and if that happens, then it's going to be fatal. You just can't be impatient with them.
Okay, so what we've got is a very, very inflamed and red ear canal. And we push down deeper. You can see as we go deeper, the pain does increase.
Looking at it, it's a real mess. It was red, it was inflamed. We've got a lot of black wax in there, and black wax worries me because it's a sign of infection.
There's no doubt Rufus has a debilitating ear infection, but has he come to Chris in time to stop the bacteria spreading?
Rabbits losing hair isn't that uncommon, but it's working out what actually is the cause that's the real trick here. It could be parasites, it could be a fungal infection, it could be an allergy. There's no way of knowing unless you run some tests.
Because I can't really look at you.
Yeah.
At Bondi's referral hospital, Sash, Lisa's examining 5-year-old Roxy, who's in labour and in trouble.
Come forward, sweetie. This way, Mum. Roxy.
I don't want to be moving.
Oh no, this is...
The beagle arrived in a cardboard box and she doesn't want to leave it.
Roxy went into labour this morning and she's already delivered 3 pups and none of them are living, so the concern is that there are more pups in there.
How are they going?
Yeah, he's going very well.
Obedience-wise, obviously pretty good, Bill.
Not too bad. A bit boisterous at times.
This special program takes 18 months and is a reward for trusted inmates who are hand-picked to train the pups.
They're getting worn down, though. They must see plenty of exercise.
Dig a lot of holes.
not trying to dig out of here,
You'll see them. Never thought of that one.
You could be onto something, there. I'll tell the guys
officers over there.
The new team of carers are Mark,
He's a good boy.
Bill,
that's all you're getting.
and Andrew.
Kisses. Oh.
There you go. Self-medicating.
The pups need worming, vaccinating and flea treatments.
What happened to the flea powder?
Went out about 20 years ago.
Did it really happen?
He's ready. Sort of. All going well so far.
It's a showdown between the 2 rookies, the city princess and the farm dog.
Are you ready? You okay, Rusty? Go, Rusty!
Good to see you right now, actually.
Oh, there we go. There's a good sample.
How lovely. It's quite mucusy, actually. Diarrhea seems like a pretty nondescript thing to have in a sick animal, but in a young animal like this, it dehydrates them very quickly, it takes away their electrolytes, and it can kill them very quickly.
Alert and active, the wallaroo looks to be in good condition.
Twists the head around and watches what I'm doing. See that? Do you mind? I'm trying to work down here.
Oh boy.
What, darling?
Oh.
A bit sore?
Oh, there's something in here.
At Bondi's referral hospital SASH, 1-year-old Dalmatian puppy Hugo is in trouble.
Well, he's vomited a couple of times in the last few days, and this afternoon when I came from work, he was just curled up in his basket and no bounding down the hall to greet you, and he just didn't get out of his basket all evening.
Emergency vet Lisa Chimes soon finds the reason for Hugo's misery.
Like a golf ball size, firm.
What have you gone into?
I don't know. It feels like it could be a bone or...
Oh no, Hugo.
Chris is examining Mr. Wilson's severe eye problems.
He's got what's called entropion, where he's got so much loose skin, the eyelashes on the end of that eyelid actually roll inwards. You can see when I let it go, they jump inwards and they sit actually on the eyeball itself. It's like having that it's like having an eyelash stuck on your eye the whole time. If that keeps on happening, he will go blind. There's no two ways about it. He'll lose his vision just from that constant irritation. So this needs to be done, it needs to be done early, and they've done exactly the right thing in getting him looked at.
Yeah, she's got a bit of an erosive lesion on that bottom right-hand corner, so a bit of a mouth ulcer, if you like.
Yep.
It's eating down into her gum line. The way it is right now, and left untreated, she won't eat, and that'll be the end of her. And she can bite, can't she? I mean, she's got teeth.
While you're poking her in the mouth, she's got her 2 teeth are about 4 mils long.
Yeah, that's nice. It's reassuring.
Thick as a needle.
Serena, can you just get an oxygen mask? This cat is blue. He's really not getting much oxygen around his body.
Emergency vet Lisa Chimes is almost certain the cat has swallowed human medication.
I think he's had paracetamol toxicity. His gums, his lips are all swollen. Yeah. Paracetamol causes damage to the red blood cells so that they can't carry oxygen around the body. And when you can't carry oxygen around the body, you can't get oxygen to the brain and you die.
In a cruel irony, the cat's name is Lucky. There is an antidote for paracetamol poisoning, but its effectiveness depends on how long the toxin has been in Lucky's system. Blackie was shipped to the mainland to ensure the species' survival.
Come on, Black. You're all right. There, come on, girl. This species is on the brink of extinction, and without good breeders like Blackie around, that's the way it's heading. The problem is that that's not going to be functional.
Yeah, that's right. No Joey can attach to it.
Sadly, Blackie is now facing an altogether different, life-threatening disease.
There's a lot of things it could be. The one I'm really worried about, though, is cancer. It's very enlarged, it's very ugly, it's very inflamed, very red. That's how cancer looks. And they're still asleep.
Chris has just returned from the reptile park and is back in his comfort zone.
Mona doesn't do a lot, does she?
The team includes Mona,
3.64 kilos.
Spanky.
Do you want to tell me how you got the name Spanky?
Buckwheat,
6.
Alfalfa,
7. 8.
and Miss Lilu.
At 6 weeks of age, they're just so fragile. Their immune systems are really underdeveloped. So the fact is, vaccinations are a must. The house isn't a place for these ducklings to be raised. There's obviously predators around. We need to get the ducklings, catch them all, try to get the mother as well, and then relocate them to a safer place. We want to keep the family unit together, so we need to approach this very carefully with a very distinct plan. Not exactly a help around the clinic, you wouldn't say. Pan has a chew first, ask questions later approach to most things in life.
Oh, we love having Pen here.
The vet nurses have all fallen so in love with Pan. But there's a very special attachment between Liesl and her. Never lets her out of her sight. If you ask me, Pan thinks Liesl's a mum.
She just kind of puts a smile on your face when you see her. When you hear her, you walk past in a bad mood and you hear her and, man, oh, someone loves me.
As much as we do love having Pan around here, the reality is a vet clinic isn't the ideal home. She's eating anything and everything, so we've got to find a place for her in Bondi. That's not going to be easy. They've got to understand her needs.
He disappeared for a day and a half, mate, and all of a sudden he's just rocked up in the back porch and he's been meowing and, you know, he was actually dragging himself in.
So he dragged himself into the backyard?
Yeah. Jeez.
So no idea of what's happened?
No idea. It doesn't look like there's any blood, so...
Yeah. This might hurt a bit, mate. Come on.
Doesn't look right, does it?
No, the front legs are working okay there. It's got strength there, but...
Look at that back leg there.
Yeah, that's what worries me. So it's just hanging limp there? His back legs are basically in an absolute mess. That right leg is just hanging there with no sensation, no movement whatsoever. But to be honest with you, it's the other leg that I'm looking at most intently, because if that leg can't be salvaged, then Blackie has no hope. If he can't straighten out that leg, he can't support weight on that leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mate, this could be a real problem.
Just backtracking to last night when she had dinner, did she swallow normally? Was she able to eat her dinner normally?
She ate the whole dinner. Yeah. They have, she has 3 chicken carcasses and she ate the 3 of them.
Let's take a look at her.
No, this is not like her at all.
Vet Lisa Chimes is handling the emergency.
I can't feel anything obvious, although these things you can't always feel easily. She's really salivating a lot and it's pouring out her mouth, and that could be either because she's nauseous or because she's actually got something stuck in the esophagus.
If we don't do something now, she'll die. I mean, it's simple as that.
I didn't feed her till 12 o'clock last night. Then she threw up between 1 and 1:30. I let her outside and she's a great hunter.
Right.
She disappeared for about an hour and then came back.
Right.
And she threw up another 3 times during the night.
By morning, Jasmine's stomach had blown up.
I can't tell what I have to
You've
accept.
done them before, right?
Plenty.
And you have had success, some success.
Oh, I would say 80 to 90% of dogs do very well.
Right.
There's a good reason for Ross's interrogation. 2 years ago, he lost another curly-coated retriever to the killer condition.
As long as I'm not getting some intern working on it, you know, or something like this, you know.
No. I'll
Because,
be the
you know,
one.
Obviously, I don't know you guys. You know.
No, appreciate it.
You've been recommended and all that.
Yeah. No, I'll be doing the surgery. I'm a specialist. I've done
okay.
Hundreds. Okay.
I don't think that's pain that he's responding to there.
No, I think he's just frightened.
Chris is back at the clinic, investigating why Frank the Falcon can no longer fly.
When you first get presented a big bird like this, you'd be thinking that, hey, it's flown into a window or it's had an injury whilst it's been flying. But I can't see anything there. There are no fractures that I can feel in his wings. His legs feel pretty much intact. He just feels a bit skinny. So
It's a bit of a mystery as to why he's now so ill that he can't even get up into the sky.
So he just hassles her and just...
Yes.
When he's not in his little chastity cage, he's...
Yes, he jumps on her a lot. He tries to make babies. Do you want me to get him out?
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Bunny's fallen in love with his Flemish giant flatmate. He just won't leave 5-year-old Archelina alone.
So, Chris, you can see the problems we're having.
Fairly, I don't know, I mean, it's a pretty subtle gesture that Bunny...
Naughty Bunny, naughty boy, naughty.
The thing about rabbits is they grow up very fast. They're sexually mature from 8 weeks of age. He's 4 months of age, so he's almost in his prime.
But, Chris, you must know yourself how awful it is when you get unwanted attention from the opposite sex. So it's horrible, isn't it?
I wouldn't know what you're talking about. I've never had unwanted attention of that variety, if that's what you mean.
I love him.
What's his name?
Garfield.
Garfield?
Garfield has been mauled in a local Bondi park by a Staffordshire Terrier.
He's just going to pick up on your vibes right now, unless you can just keep calm.
I'll send it.
Okay,
Look at him, he's covered in the saliva.
Yeah, I know.
Rita is the tiny Maltese Terrier's owner.
Is he going to be all right?
So what we're going to do, we're going to take him out the back now and just give him some injections.
Can I come with you?
He'll be okay. Just wait here and you'll be fine.
Why can't I go?
Sorry?
Why
There are
can't
just
I go?
surgeries going on at the moment. That's all.
Please.
It's okay. It's okay. Can I get a hand from someone?
Find the doctor. We're going to have to go.
If Garfield gets any more stress, he's going to go into a fair bit of shock.
Yeah. Let's take a seat and I'll come through as soon as Chris will look after
I'll keep you informed.
Oh, absolutely. You go take
Rita,
a
it'll
seat.
be okay.
Yeah,
It'll be okay.
absolutely.
We've just got to keep him as calm as possible because he's going to put something into his vein right now that's going to make him feel a lot better.
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm a nervous wreck.
You're nervous. Hey, Maddie.
Mark Bilson is the specialist surgeon in charge of Maddie's cataract operation.
Okay, well, that's all looking good for surgery. Come on, sweetheart. Come on, son. You come with me. Good girl.
Bye-bye, sweetie. And next time I see you, you'll be able to see me. That'll be exciting, won't it? Okay? Look.
Hey, Scotty. Good boy. Oh, you are a good boy. I'm always a little bit nervy when I treat police dogs, and I guess I have to have confidence in the fact that their trainers know exactly what they're doing and the dog will listen to whatever they say. So as long as they're with their boss, I'm happy. But when they're on their own out the back, they can be pretty scary.
Right now, Scotty is too miserable to be menacing.
Oh, he's very hot.
Yeah?
He's at a really high temperature.
40.8.
Okay.
So upper end of normal for a dog of his size, I would say around 39.
Yeah.
So that's really high.
Okay.
2 years ago, the owner of Mogo Zoo, Sally Pady, invited Chris to meet rare white lions Mafuta and Numbi just after they were born.
When there's gas, it's better out than in, isn't it? Come on. Oh, good one. Good one.
Is it Mafuta? Is it my Numbi? Come on, puppies.
It's like a big Labrador.
Come on, hello, my Numbi. Hello, puppies. It's a boy. Comes a boy.
You want to sort of lean back from the fence, but I guess the thrill of being so close to them overrides that. It's amazing. It's really mixed feelings. You'd love to see them out in the wild, but the reality is that because of their colour, because they're white, they really stand out on the savannah, so they're just a prime target for hunters. Just a glowing beacon. Still got that playfulness, though.
Oh, yeah.
As a result of his foot phobia, Dazza has never had his nails clipped.
I don't think there's anything wrong with his joints. I actually think it's all up here.
Dazza.
I'm scared of the crazy woman.
Wheelbarrow.
You'd probably see about 1 in 50 dogs that really freak out about having their nails done.
Ow, I'm gonna get hurt.
Now, Mel, between you and me, he was a lot bigger than he actually is. That's why we can't do it.
And he had a gun.
Yeah, he definitely had a gun.
Oh, darling, that's a bit sore, isn't it? Hmm? So I suspect that he's basically got a broken back.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I know that's sore. I mean, she's in a bad way. She's paralysed. She can't move her back legs at all. Thankfully, she can feel her feet, so she actually has sensation in them, and that's a good sign for her recovery. Next step, CT scan. So after that, we'll make a decision where we have to go and what we have to do.
Because that's a bit swollen, but you can see the colour difference in the eye, obviously. And his lip is like...
That's huge, isn't it?
It's massive on both sides. Feel that.
Yeah.
It's all right, mate.
He's distressed, he's having big trouble getting his air in. This looks like the classical signs of an allergic reaction, and we need to stabilise him and do it very quickly.
Don't really want to freak her out here. The foal is that close. If I approach her as that foal's starting to come out and she runs, she's basically going to trample the foal.
Yeah, I'm just so glad Chris is here now, and I just don't want anything to be wrong with the baby, and I certainly don't want anything to go wrong with the mare.
Easy, girl. Once this foal starts to come out, the first thing I'm looking for are feet, because the feet are going to tell me if this is a breech position or not.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.